What if the secret to unlocking renewed leg strength, to banishing that creeping sense of weakness or fatigue, wasn't hidden in an expensive gym membership or a complex pill regimen, but right within the humble confines of your own kitchen? Imagine a world where you could reclaim your vitality, your confidence, and your freedom of movement, not through grueling effort, but through a simple, scientifically backed shift in what you eat and when. Recent breakthroughs are revealing that a single, targeted nutritional approach, when timed and paired with precision, can kickstart the revitalization of your neuromuscular function, the very system that powers your legs, in as little as 12 astonishing hours. This isn't just about feeling a bit better. It's about fundamentally changing your body's trajectory, turning back the clock on decline, and rediscovering the energetic, capable you that you thought might be gone for good. Are you ready to discover how your next meal could be the first step towards stronger, more youthful legs? The journey to this incredible understanding begins with a groundbreaking 2023 study highlighted in the esteemed Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Researchers observed adults over 50 and found something truly remarkable. When they consumed a specific type of nutrient-rich food in the evening, the very next morning showed measurable enhancements in muscle protein synthesis and mitochondrial activity. Think of these as the biological dynamos powering your energy, recovery, and strength, particularly crucial for your legs, which often bear the first telltale signs of aging. But let's be clear, this isn't merely about looking good or even just moving more easily. This delves into something far more profound: your independence, your self-assurance, and ultimately, your longevity. When leg strength begins to wane, the ripple effects touch every aspect of life. Stairs transform into mountains. Balance becomes a precarious act, and energy levels plummet. Many resign themselves to this, attributing it to the inevitable march of time. However, the truth, as illuminated by science, is that age itself isn't the primary saboteur of muscle. The more significant culprits are chronic undernourishment at a cellular level, persistent low-grade inflammation, and misaligned circadian rhythms, our internal body clocks. In essence, as Shi Heng Yi might observe, it's not your calendar age dictating your decline, but rather the state of your internal biology. What you consume, the timing of your meals, and how these elements interact with your nervous system and muscles are the true determinants. For decades, the prevailing belief was that age-related muscle loss was primarily due to atrophy, a simple shrinking of muscle fibers from disuse or hormonal shifts. But neuroscience, the study of our intricate nervous system, is now painting a far more optimistic and actionable picture. Researchers are uncovering a startling reality. Much of the muscle you believe you've lost isn't actually gone. It's merely disconnected, lying dormant. Studies reveal that starting as early as our 40s, the motor neurons, those critical communication lines connecting your brain and spinal cord to your muscles, especially in the legs, can begin to degrade or lose their efficiency. This breakdown in communication leads to reduced electrical signaling. Imagine trying to send an urgent message, but the lines are faulty. The muscles don't fully receive the command to contract. They are still present, structurally sound, but effectively idle. A pivotal study from the University of Calgary found that even adults experiencing declining leg strength retained the fundamental structural potential for robust muscle activity. The core issue wasn't the muscle itself, but the neuromuscular signaling. Simply put, the muscle wasn't dead. It was just offline, waiting to be reactivated. Have you ever experienced that unsettling wobble when standing up from a chair for no apparent reason? Or perhaps you've noticed your legs fatiguing much faster than they used to, even without any significant change in your daily routine. These aren't just random quirks of getting older. They are often direct indicators of a neural communication breakdown. And the truly exciting news is that this communication network can be repaired and revitalized. The spinal cord plays a central role here, acting as a crucial relay station for movement commands. To maintain signal fidelity, it relies on continuous, nutrient-driven support. Think of your leg muscles as a team of highly skilled workers and your nervous system as the foreman, shouting instructions through a megaphone. If the megaphone's battery starts dying, the team's performance inevitably drops. But recharge that battery and the team snaps back to work with renewed vigor. One of the most rapid ways to achieve this is by fueling the neuromuscular junction, the precise point where your nerves meet your muscles, with key nutrients that restore signaling efficiency. Specific amino acids, B vitamins, and precursors to vital neurotransmitters like acetylcholine can dramatically improve this connection, sometimes within mere hours. This is precisely where our focus on strategically chosen foods comes into play. You're about to discover that certain foods aren't just high in protein. They contain the exact nutritional building blocks your nervous system craves to regenerate its communication pathways. This means you're not just feeding your muscles, you're reactivating them, bringing them back online. So before you even think about building more muscle, ask yourself, is your nervous system effectively using the muscle you already possess? Often, leg weakness is more a matter of signal quality than muscle quantity. Now, let's delve into one of the most critical nutrients for reactivating this system, the amino acid leucine. Imagine this: mere seconds after you consume a meal, your body initiates a sophisticated scanning process, not just for calories, but for specific molecular cues that dictate its next course of action. And one of the most potent signals it eagerly searches for is leucine. Leucine is an essential amino acid, meaning your body cannot produce it. You must obtain it from your diet. But its significance extends far beyond basic nutrition. Scientists refer to leucine as an anabolic trigger. In simpler terms, it's the molecular messenger that signals to your cells it's time to grow and repair. Research consistently shows that leucine directly activates a crucial cellular pathway known as mTOR, mechanistic target of rapamycin. Think of mTOR as the central control tower for muscle protein synthesis, the process of building and repairing muscle tissue. Leucine is, quite literally, the finger that flips the switch to on. A compelling 2011 study published in the Journal of Nutrition demonstrated that a single meal rich in leucine could significantly boost mTOR activity and stimulate muscle protein synthesis, even in older adults. This is profoundly important because as we age, our muscles can become more resistant to these anabolic signals. Leucine, however, possesses the remarkable ability to override this resistance, and it's one of the few nutrients shown to do so within hours. Have you ever eaten a meal seemingly high in protein, yet still felt a lingering tiredness or weakness in your legs? The issue might not be the quantity of protein, but rather the quality and precise timing of your leucine intake. Many older adults unknowingly consume just enough protein to prevent muscle breakdown, but not enough leucine to actively stimulate muscle growth. This is why the source and timing of your protein are paramount. A powerful yet simple tool to apply, as advocated by forward-thinking experts like Shi Heng Yi, is to anchor your first substantial meal of the day around a leucine-rich food source. Animal proteins such as eggs, beef, and chicken, and particularly whey protein, boast some of the highest leucine concentrations. Just 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine, an amount readily found in approximately 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein, is sufficient to trigger mTOR and initiate muscle repair. For those seeking an efficient shortcut, whey protein isolate stands out as one of the most effective ways to achieve this, containing an ideal ratio of leucine and other essential amino acids. This is why athletes and increasingly clinicians working with seniors are leveraging it to rapidly restore muscle function. But this isn't just about recovery, it's about reconnection. The processes unfolding in your brain and muscles after consuming leucine-rich protein transcend mere growth. They represent a restoration of communication, a re-establishment of the vital biochemical conversation between your nervous system and your muscle fibers. And the faster that conversation resumes, the quicker your legs will feel stable, strong, and vibrantly alive again. Following the critical role of leucine, we turn our attention to another key player in this intricate dance of muscle activation, acetylcholine. This neurotransmitter is, quite literally, the chemical messenger that tells your muscles to move. When you decide to stand, to take a step, or to rise from a chair, your brain dispatches a signal. However, this signal doesn't travel directly to your muscles. It's first translated into acetylcholine at the neuromuscular junction. Without an adequate supply of acetylcholine, your muscles don't fire properly. They might misfire, respond with a delay, or in some cases, fail to respond at all. This becomes increasingly significant as we age, as studies indicate that both acetylcholine production and the sensitivity of its receptors tend to decline over time, particularly in the motor neurons connected to our legs. This is one of the underlying reasons why even minor lapses in balance or a delayed muscle response become more common in older adults. But here's where the science offers tremendous hope. Research has shown that choline, the precursor to acetylcholine, can rapidly restore this vital signaling capacity. A 2012 review published in Nutrients highlighted that increasing dietary choline can significantly boost acetylcholine synthesis in less than 6 to 12 hours, especially when the brain is actively demanding motor coordination. So what food provides this powerful edge? Eggs, particularly their yolks, are the richest natural source of choline. Just 2 whole eggs can deliver over 300 milligrams of choline, which your body efficiently converts into acetylcholine, helping to restore that crucial motor control pathway. This isn't merely a nutritional fact, it's a functional protocol. If you're someone who feels your legs are slow to respond, or if you've noticed tremors, instability, or decreased power when walking or standing, consider this simple morning strategy. Consume 2 whole eggs within 30 minutes of waking, ideally paired with a leucine-rich protein source like whey or cottage cheese. The reason for this timing is that motor neurons are typically more responsive to nutrient input in the morning, a period when acetylcholine synthesis naturally tends to be lower after a night's sleep. You're essentially providing your body with the raw materials it needs to re-establish neuromuscular command precisely when it needs it most. Have you ever noticed how much more confident and assured your steps feel after a protein-rich breakfast? That's not a placebo effect. It's your central nervous system firing with sharper precision, thanks in part to optimized acetylcholine levels. Choline isn't just supporting muscle, it's upgrading the communication line between your brain and your legs. For those who are plant-based or avoid eggs, other sources of choline include soybeans, Brussels sprouts, and quinoa, though the bioavailability, how well your body can absorb and convert it, is generally highest in egg yolks. And there's an added bonus. Acetylcholine doesn't just activate muscles, it's also a major player in focus, learning, and memory. So, when you restore your brain's acetylcholine levels, you're enhancing both physical control and cognitive clarity, a definitive double win for aging gracefully and powerfully. Imagine trying to cultivate a flourishing garden, but the hosepipe delivering essential water is kinked and constricted. No matter how rich the soil or abundant the sunlight, the plants will inevitably struggle to thrive. This is precisely the scenario that unfolds within your muscles, particularly in your legs, when blood flow becomes restricted or inefficient. As we navigate through life, the arteries and capillaries that supply our lower limbs can often become narrower and less responsive. This directly impairs oxygen delivery, nutrient transport, and the removal of metabolic waste products, 3 absolute pillars of muscle performance and recovery. The unfortunate result is legs that feel heavy, perpetually tired, or slow to respond, even if you're diligently consuming adequate protein and engaging in regular exercise. Poor circulation can silently sabotage your strength from within. The key molecule that orchestrates the dilation of our blood vessels is nitric oxide, NO. This naturally produced gas, originating in your endothelial cells, the cells lining your blood vessels, signals your vessels when to widen, allowing more blood to flow freely. What's truly fascinating is that nitric oxide production is highly dependent on your dietary choices, and one of the most potent natural boosters of this crucial molecule is found in beets. Beets, especially when consumed raw or juiced, are packed with dietary nitrates, which your body skillfully converts into nitric oxide. A compelling 2015 study, published in the Journal of Applied Physiology, discovered that older adults who consumed beetroot juice experienced a significant improvement in leg muscle power within just hours of intake. This effect was particularly pronounced in fast-twitch muscle fibers, which are absolutely essential for maintaining balance and preventing falls. This isn't some marginal, barely perceptible gain. The improvements were measurable in real-world movement tests, including walking speed, chair stand tests, and even stair climbing ability. Here's a simple, actionable tool you can implement. Aim to drink 250 to 300 milliliters, about 8-10 ounces, of beetroot juice, or consume 1 to 2 medium-sized beets approximately 90 minutes before any physical activity. This timing allows the dietary nitrates sufficient opportunity to convert into nitric oxide and begin enhancing vasodilation. If you want to amplify this effect further, combine this nutritional strategy with 20 minutes of light movement, such as a brisk walk, gentle cycling, or dynamic stretching. Movement itself acts as a catalyst, amplifying nitric oxide production, especially when your body is already primed with dietary nitrates. Think of it as both priming the hose and simultaneously turning up the water pressure. While some may express concern about the sugar content in beets, their glycemic load is relatively low, and the performance benefits, particularly when consumed before activity, far outweigh any minor blood sugar fluctuations. You can also easily buffer this by pairing beets with a quality protein source or some fiber-rich greens. There's a silent saboteur that may be undermining your leg strength from the inside out, a condition you might not even feel directly, yet it's there, like a persistent, low hum in the background: chronic inflammation. Unlike the acute, sharp, and obvious inflammation that occurs after an injury, chronic inflammation is subtle, systemic, and pervasive. Over time, it slowly but surely erodes muscle function, especially in the legs. The research is compelling. Even low levels of chronic inflammation can lead to a discernible decline in muscle strength, coordination, and the body's capacity for regeneration. A 2020 study published in the Journals of Gerontology found that elevated levels of inflammatory markers, particularly C-reactive protein (CRP) and interleukin-6 (IL-6), were strongly associated with reduced muscle mass and strength in older adults, even when their physical activity levels and overall nutrition seemed adequate. So, what exactly is happening within your body when this low-grade fire is burning? Inflammation directly interferes with muscle protein synthesis, increases oxidative stress, cellular damage, and disrupts mitochondrial function, the very engines that power your muscle contractions. Furthermore, it negatively affects your nervous system's ability to efficiently recruit muscle fibers, meaning that even if the muscle tissue is present, the signal to activate it becomes weaker and less effective. Now here's the truly empowering part. One of the most potent tools we possess for quenching this chronic inflammatory fire isn't typically found in the supplement aisle. It's readily available in your produce drawer. Enter the world of dark leafy greens. Think spinach, kale, arugula, chard, and mustard greens. These nutritional powerhouses aren't just nutrient-dense. They are veritable anti-inflammatory champions. They are teeming with high levels of polyphenols, chlorophyll, magnesium, and nitrate compounds, all of which actively support your body's innate ability to downregulate inflammatory pathways. In particular, the polyphenol quercetin, found abundantly in kale and mustard greens, has been shown to directly inhibit inflammatory cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha. A study featured in Frontiers in Pharmacology in 2019 reported that regular intake of quercetin-rich foods can lead to a reduction in inflammation markers within just 2 to 4 weeks, especially when combined with moderate exercise. A simple, science-backed protocol you can adopt is to include at least 1 packed cup of dark leafy greens with your first meal of the day. Why the first meal? Because it helps to set a favorable tone for inflammatory regulation across your entire circadian rhythm, that internal clock governing your immune and hormonal responses. for an added synergistic boost. Try combining your greens with a source of healthy fat, like olive oil or avocado, to enhance the absorption of fat-soluble antioxidants such as vitamin K and beta-carotene. A squeeze of lemon or a splash of apple cider vinegar can also aid digestion and nutrient uptake. It's crucial to understand that these foods don't work like painkillers. You won't feel an instantaneous effect overnight. However, over a consistent period, often in as little as 10 to 14 days, you may begin to notice less soreness, faster recovery times, more stable energy levels, and a renewed, invigorating feeling of strength in your legs. This is where nutrition transcends its role as mere fuel and becomes a sophisticated regulatory signal, effectively telling your immune system, all is well, you can power down the inflammatory response. When it comes to reclaiming and rebuilding leg strength, what you eat is undeniably crucial, but it's only half of the equation. When you eat may be just as important, if not more so, especially as we gracefully age. You see, every time you consume a meal containing protein, you trigger a vital biological process known as muscle protein synthesis, or MPS. This is your body's fundamental mechanism for repairing existing muscle tissue and building new, stronger fibers. It's essentially your body's internal announcement: let's grow and get stronger. However, there's a common challenge that arises as we get older. The signal for MPS can become weaker and less effective. This phenomenon is known as anabolic resistance, a state where your muscles become less responsive to the protein you consume. Consequently, even if you believe you're eating enough protein overall, if the timing of that intake is suboptimal, your body might not be fully utilizing it to rebuild and fortify your muscles, particularly in your legs. So, what's the strategic fix for this? The research provides clear guidance. Distributing protein-rich meals evenly throughout the day, beginning with breakfast, significantly improves muscle maintenance and growth, especially in the lower body. A notable 2014 study from the University of Texas discovered that individuals who consumed roughly equal amounts of protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner exhibited 25% higher rates of muscle protein synthesis compared to those who consumed the majority of their daily protein intake at dinner. The underlying reason is that each well-timed meal acts as a distinct stimulus for muscle growth, keeping that crucial anabolic signal strong and consistent throughout the day. But there's more to this timing strategy. Consuming protein within 30 to 60 minutes after light exercise or even a brisk walk can further enhance this effect, a benefit particularly pronounced in older adults. This period is often referred to as the anabolic window, a time frame during which your muscle cells are exceptionally sensitive to nutrients and can rapidly uptake amino acids to rebuild and repair tissue. Here's a simple, actionable protocol to put this science into practice, a method Shi Heng Yi would likely endorse for its mindful and effective approach. First, aim for approximately 30 grams of high-quality protein at your very first meal of the day. This could look like 3 eggs sautéed with spinach and a side of lentils, or perhaps a nutrient-dense Greek yogurt bowl topped with hemp seeds and berries. Second, after any form of physical activity, whether it's a dedicated walk, a gentle stretching session, or light resistance training, make it a priority to consume a meal or snack that thoughtfully combines protein and complex carbohydrates within 1 hour. This might be a smoothie blended with protein powder and a banana, or a satisfying plate of quinoa, beans, and a drizzle of olive oil. The carbohydrates play a supportive role by helping to shuttle amino acids into your muscle cells more efficiently, partly by stimulating insulin, a hormone that enhances nutrient uptake. Third, consciously avoid protein stacking primarily at dinner. While it might be tempting to save your largest, most protein-heavy meal for the evening, research indicates that your muscles can only effectively synthesize a limited amount of protein at any single time, typically around 30 to 40 grams. Any excess beyond this threshold is often oxidized for energy or stored, rather than contributing to muscle building. By optimizing your meal timing and protein distribution, you're doing far more than just feeding your muscles. You're actively communicating with them, sending a consistent message to your body: stay strong, stay active, stay alive. And that truly is the profound underlying principle here. Muscle isn't just about movement. It's a vital metabolic organ that safeguards your overall vitality and well-being. If you've journeyed with us this far, you've already taken the most crucial step, becoming informed and empowered with knowledge. You now understand that rebuilding leg strength, potentially seeing tangible improvements in as little as 12 hours, isn't a far-fetched fantasy, but a physiological reality when you learn to work synergistically with your body's natural systems, rather than against them. Let's swiftly recap the powerful, science-backed insights we've explored. We've seen how nitric oxide is the vital molecule driving blood flow to your legs, delivering essential oxygen, nutrients, and energy precisely where they're needed most. Without adequate NO, muscles can stagnate, and beetroot, especially in concentrated forms, stands out as a potent natural booster capable of triggering measurable increases in leg blood flow and performance within hours. We've learned that the health of your endothelium, the inner lining of your blood vessels, plays a critical role in muscle oxygenation, and foods rich in nitrates, polyphenols, and antioxidants can literally revitalize this system. We've also touched upon how fast-twitch muscle fibers, particularly vulnerable to age-related decline in your legs, are remarkably responsive to positive changes in blood flow, nutrition, and neural input. The fascinating gut-muscle connection means that your dietary choices don't just affect digestion. They actively program the way your brain and muscles communicate, with components like beetroot's effect on gut microbes playing a key role. And finally, we've emphasized how strategic meal timing, especially around periods of movement, helps to bypass anabolic resistance and keeps your muscle-building machinery switched on and efficient. The unifying thread through all these principles is a profoundly hopeful one. Your body inherently wants to regenerate. It is ingeniously built for adaptation. The primary challenge and our opportunity lies in providing it with the right inputs in the right amounts at precisely the right times. So here is your next step, a simple, clear, and powerfully effective action you can take, inspired by the holistic wisdom Shi Heng Yi might impart. Tomorrow morning, begin your day with a beetroot-based smoothie. Into this vibrant concoction, add a quality source of protein, such as Greek yogurt or a plant-based alternative. Then, immediately after drinking it, embark on a 15-minute walk. This specific sequence primes your blood vessels, triggers nitric oxide release, and initiates crucial muscle signaling. Following your walk, ensure you have a protein-rich breakfast within the next 30 to 60 minutes. This isn't just about a single instance of boosting leg strength, it's about cultivating momentum. Because the science is unequivocally clear, even seemingly small interventions, a single strategically chosen nutrient, a short purposeful walk, a well-timed meal, can produce rapid, measurable changes in how your body performs and, just as importantly, how you feel. This is especially true for your legs, which serve not only as your foundation for movement, but also as a mirror reflecting your overall metabolic health and vitality. As you begin to apply these tools, day by day, you'll start to notice something subtle yet profound. It won't just be that your legs feel stronger, it's that you will feel more capable again, more energized, more stable, more authentically you. So, try this one integrated protocol. Observe the changes with mindful attention. And if this journey into the science of strength has helped you see your body and your incredible potential in a new, empowering light, I warmly invite you to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to our community. We are here to help you not just survive, but to truly thrive, armed with evidence-based tools that support your mind, your body, and your life.